That one shows, he says that here there is the truth of suffering, causes of that suffering, and now he says there is that ways to liberate from that suffering. We may get liberated from those sufferings, and those those are this. There is that sun kind of that things you see, the sun. So we are to flow at four parts, and that at four parts is that medicines via which we may cure from those sufferings. And those eightfold parts are: first, right view. We have to hold right view, right thinking, right concentration, and right actions, right efforts, and right livelihood. Then right mindfulness, and there is another one I forgot. Okay, so there is that eightfold parts. We need to follow it. So if we follow those eightfold parts, we may be able to liberate from those sufferings. And we have this sufferings. We have that sufferings of the two types. First is that physical one, while taking a birth, while taking this, while aging, and infected by disease, and this death one. More we are taking these things too personally, then there is that mental sufferings too. So mental suffering is that optional one. And if we suppose I am infected by that cancer, okay. Am I the only one who is infected by that cancer? It is not so. There are thousands of people who are dying also. And if I meet with accidents and then about to die, should I suffer more? Should I take it more personally? It is not so. There are thousands of people who are also dying because of that road accidents. So it means more we are taking those events too personally, then we suffer at the mental level, and that is more painful than that physical suffering basically. So physical suffering is the obvious thing, is optional, compulsory one to all that living beings to follow that law of nature. But then mental suffering is that optional one. More we look at our that life as a part of that law of nature, we will be suffering less. Okay. Otherwise, we suffer more because we are taking any event more as that person. More in that personal way. So these are how these four noble truths are. Okay, these pictures had been drawn at the time of that Buddha. He had drawn these pictures because at that time public were not that much educated to go through that script and then understand his teachings. Therefore, he came up with the idea that pictures should be drawn, and then through these pictures, explanations should be given. So this is how it had become that convenient for that public to understand what Buddha really wanted to say with us or share with us. Okay, so this is the eightfold parts, and why one becomes that monk. There is an interesting story of. And first, there is one person who is just sitting like this. Do you see? Like this one. There is one guy, okay, who is just sitting like this, and it shows how we are taking at that birth, and we are clueless. What is that meaning of life? Okay, so the person is too confused. What is the meaning of life? We just simply took that birth. Okay, and thereafter there is a person who is making a pot kind of the things. It shows how we get busy with that routine things. Okay, we get busy with that. Say in that present time, we get busy with that homeworks, and then doing so again, we fail to realize what the meaning of this life is. And this one shows how we get busy with those worldly things without realizing a bit about the meaning of that life. And then the third one is, it is that monkey who is jumping from that one tree to another. It is a representation of how we are going through the teenage age. And teenage age is having that monkey mind. Okay. This mind keeps jumping from one person to another on the basis of that opposite sex, on the basis of that attractions we get from that different persons. Okay, so this monkey shows how our that minds do not remain stable there to find out the meaning of that life, and it keeps the attraction keeps changing from one person to the another. And then next one, there is that sea. In that sea, there is a person who is just moving out, and it shows how how we are running after that names and fames and that healthy body. Okay, we eat so much that veg and that non-veg foods just to become that healthy one, and after even becoming that healthy one, if that simple question is asked, where will you be going with this healthy body? he or she might not be having a simple answer for that. Okay, because after having that healthy body, he's going nowhere. In a way, this person is, and then here, and we are also running after that names and fames. And even after we become not like the Jeff Bezos or the Elon Musk, where shall we go? The common destiny is same. That is that great. But little we realize with this, therefore, in a way, this person is clueless where he is heading towards. In the same way, we are also behaving in the same way that person is heading towards. And here is that building. Okay, this building is the representations of how when we are entering in that adulthood, we tend to get more attached with that sensual pleasure things, that sensual things. And here is having that five that windows we have, and this 5 windows is a representations of how that we get habituated to run after those 5 senses. To get a good taste, we eat variety of the things. To get a good sound, we listen to the different that musics. To get the touching things, again we do involve in many that nasty things. Okay, so that means here we get habituated to this sensual pleasure things, and then, so again here we fail to realize the importance of that life or the meaning of that life. And here more in a traditional way, the two couple is coupling each other, and it is a representation of how we are getting married. And getting married too, again we spend our that enough that share of that life without realizing a bit about the meaning of that life. And then this one here is having a one person having an arrow in his that eyes. These are representations of how one get realized after that half life is over. All of us get that realizations how we have wasted our that life without realizing the importance of that life. Okay, and this one is the representations of how one gets realized with those things, and without having much understanding. Okay, without having much understanding, if one gets that realizations, then it may become a cause of that stress, may become a cause of that frustrations and the depressions. And this person's get entered into this, and here is the 2 persons having that wine or that drinks, and it shows if we fail to cope up with our that stress and that depressions, then we tend to enter into this consumptions of drugs and this alcohol things. And then here is that person, since they got married, they might be having that babies too. So here is a person who is collecting the fruits, and it is a representation. It is a representations of how we get busy in collecting other properties for our that babies without realizing a bit what could be my meaning of that life. Okay, and here we get busy to stock all those worldly things for our that babies without realizing a bit about our that life. And here this person shows how one is feeling sick from inside after working so much hard for that babies and all. So this person shows how one is getting that sick. Okay, and here in some other monasteries, here we get to see one doctor and the patient who is being treated. Okay, this one is a representation of how we get unwell after that certain points. And that one shows since we get married, again there we deliver the babies. And then at the last there is a person who is holding something at the back and then going out. It shows how we get died, and then the other that relatives of that family members are taking out our the dead bodies for that cremations. That means little we realize the importance or the meaning of life, we just simply die there. We came from there and we died here. So the reason being one becomes a dead monk is monk being a dead monk, they get exemptions from that many. Okay, first obvious thing is monk in a way we took a birth, he should also take a birth, and then he might be getting a that busy with the worldly things. But then while he is getting busy, he is getting that monastic training. He is getting that monastic that educations. Okay, in a monastic educations, more than that outer world knowledge, they are getting a knowledge about that invert realities. Okay, so third one, they are strictly discouraged to have attractions with that opposite sex. They are being trained in such a way where they even after they get attracted to, but still they restrain enough to be able to, get coupling with that opposite sex. Okay, so the monks, they are not running after names and fames, and here they are discouraged to run after those sensual pleasures, and here they are restricted to get married. They are to lead that celibate life, and then here obviously if they haven't done something that wrong, they won't have that chance to realize the bad things that we have done with. And here obviously they don't go for the dead dreams. And here, since they don't have a dead babies, they are also exempted from this. And again, they get enough space to really feel that meaning of that life. And then again, obviously this one, he is exempted. No, this one he is not exempted from. He is also the human being, and he is also entitled to get sick. And this one is, and there, since they are not married, they are not to deliver any babies. That means here in that many that phases of that life, they get enough time to look inside of them and then to find the meaning of that life, a meaning of life where the world is defined not from outside in, rather they succeed to look at the world inside out. While they succeed to look the world inside out, this is where we see a smile on their face. We see a smile on their face because deep inside they are happy. They're satisfied with whatever little they have. So this is how one becomes a that monk, and they get enough that space to look inside more, and then they really find the things that we are looking for. That is the meaning of peace,
Thanks.
success, love.